What happens when raw talent meets unrelenting determination? You get BJ Penn, a fighter who didn't just compete in MMA, but helped shape its very identity. Known as the Prodigy, Penn wasn't just another name in the history books. He was a walking, breathing legacy with skills that transcended weight classes and an attitude that redefined what it meant to be a fighter. BJ Penn's journey wasn't about collecting belts, though he did that too. It was about pushing boundaries, defying expectations, and proving that skill and heart could take you further than anyone thought possible. So how did BJ Penn rise to become one of the most iconic figures in MMA? Let's take a closer look at the story of the Prodigy. The early years. A grappling prodigy is born. BJ Penn's journey began in the small town of Hilo, Hawaii, a place known for its beauty, culture, and spirit of resilience. It was in this environment that BJ's competitive fire was first kindled. However, his introduction to martial arts was anything but conventional. At 17, BJ was introduced to Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, BJJ, by a neighbor, and it quickly became evident that he was a natural. Within a few years, he was dominating the mats, earning his black belt in just 3 years, an extraordinary achievement in a discipline where mastery often takes decades. In 2000, Penn became the first American to win a gold medal at the World Jiu-Jitsu Championship in the black belt division, a feat that shook the Brazilian-dominated sport. His technical brilliance, fluid movements, and aggressive style earned him the nickname, the Prodigy. But BJ Penn wasn't content with dominating just one sport. His sights were set on a bigger stage, MMA. UFC debut, making waves early. In 2001, BJ Penn burst onto the MMA scene, signing with the UFC, an organization that was still finding its footing in the world of combat sports. From the moment he stepped into the Octagon, it was clear that he was no ordinary fighter. His debut was a statement, a first-round TKO victory over Joey Gilbert that showcased not only his exceptional grappling, but also his surprisingly sharp striking skills. Fans and analysts alike were quick to take notice. By his third fight, Penn was already challenging Jens Pulver for the UFC Lightweight Championship. Although he narrowly lost via decision, the fight solidified his reputation as a top contender. BJ Penn wasn't just a grappler dabbling in MMA. He was a complete fighter ready to take on anyone. Championship glory, a legacy cemented. For most fighters, switching weight classes is a daunting task. For BJ Penn, it was an opportunity to make history. In 2004, Penn moved up to welterweight to challenge the dominant champion Matt Hughes at UFC 46. Hughes was on a tear, considered nearly unbeatable. But BJ Penn was unfazed. In one of the biggest upsets in UFC history, Penn submitted Hughes in the first round to claim the UFC welterweight championship. This victory wasn't just about the belt. It was about proving that Penn could defy expectations, no matter the odds. Penn's career continued to flourish when he returned to lightweight in 2008. He captured the vacant lightweight championship by defeating Joe Stevenson in a bloody and emotional bout. His post-fight celebration, tears streaming down his face as he dedicated the win to his family and fans, became an iconic moment in UFC history. As lightweight champion, Penn defended his belt 3 times, including a highlight reel performance against Sean Shirk. His reign established him as one of the greatest lightweights of all time and brought new legitimacy to the division, which had struggled for recognition. Here are the rivalries, tests of skill and heart. BJ Penn's career wasn't just about titles, it was also defined by rivalries that brought out the best in him. His battles with Georges St-Pierre, GSP, are the stuff of legend. Their first fight in 2006 was a closely contested affair, with GSP narrowly edging out a decision. The rematch in 2009, however, was a high-stakes showdown for the welterweight title, Although Penn came up short, the fight remains one of the most talked about in MMA history. Then there was his trilogy with Frankie Edgar, a rivalry that spanned years and showcased the evolution of the sport. Edgar's speed and precision proved to be a tough challenge for Penn, but the trilogy underscored Penn's willingness to face the best, even as the sport moved into a new era. These rivalries weren't just fights. They were chapters in a story that showcased Penn's resilience, skill, and warrior spirit. Beyond the titles, BJ Penn's impact on MMA. BJ Penn's greatness wasn't limited to his accomplishments in the Octagon. His influence extended far beyond his fights. One of Penn's most significant contributions was elevating the lightweight division. Before Penn, the division was often overlooked, but his dominance, charisma, and exciting fighting style brought new attention to the weight class, paving the way for future stars like Khabib Nurmagomedov and Conor McGregor. Penn was also one of the first fighters to embody the anyone, anywhere, anytime mentality. He fought across 5 weight classes during his career, taking on legends and heavyweights alike. Who else would step into the ring against Lyoto Machida, a future light heavyweight champion, while weighing 191 pounds? The later years. A fighter's spirit. As BJ Penn's career progressed, the wins became harder to come by. The sport was evolving rapidly, with younger, faster, and more specialized fighters entering the scene. But Penn's love for fighting kept him coming back, even when the odds were against him. His later years in the Octagon were marked by a series of losses, but these fights didn't tarnish his legacy. If anything, they highlighted his unwavering spirit and dedication to the sport he loved. Penn's willingness to face anyone, regardless of the risk, is a testament to his warrior mindset. The legacy of the Prodigy. So how will BJ Penn be remembered? He wasn't just a fighter. He was a pioneer, a trailblazer, and a symbol of what's possible when talent meets determination. His accomplishments in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu and MMA continue to inspire fighters around the world. BJ Penn's story is a reminder that greatness isn't just about wins and losses. It's about the willingness to chase your dreams, defy expectations, and leave a lasting impact. In the end, BJ Penn's legacy isn't just a chapter in MMA history, it's a cornerstone of the sport. The Prodigy may have hung up his gloves, but his spirit will forever live on in the Octagon. BJ Penn showed us what it means to fight with heart, skill, and an unrelenting drive to be the best. He was more than a champion. He was a legend, and his story will continue to inspire generations to come.